Serena Troiani in lane 8 for Italy. She's the designated pacemaker. Go out hard, set a fast tempo from the gun. Eloisa Bello in lane 7, also for Italy. She's got the fitness to still be in this when it counts. Lane 6, Eloisa Coiro of Italy. She just finished 3rd at the European Team Championships, and she's been in blistering form right at the core of Italy's push to hold that team title. Gabriela Galvydyte in lane 5 for Lithuania. 1 place behind Koiro at the European Team Champs. Don't sleep on her. Marta Zenoni, lane 0, Italy. She belongs on this podium, and she knows it. Margarita Koczanowa of Poland in lane 4. She's recently run 159.94, right on the edge of sub 2. Every athlete out here has done the work. Now it comes down to who can hold it together when the pace gets brutal. This field is loaded front to back. There's no hiding over 800 meters, and every one of these women knows what 2 laps could mean tonight. Anna Nielsen of Denmark in lane 10, personal best of 2 minutes 7 seconds this season. She belongs here. Coiro in lane 6, locked in, jaw set, eyes forward. Everything comes down to these next 2 laps. And they're off. Nielsen goes straight to the front, threading through on the inside. Hadji is right up there too. The Moroccan not wasting a step. Troiani, the pacemaker, has to work through traffic. It took her nearly 150 meters to clear the pack and hit the front. That's how aggressive this field came out. She's there now. The pace is already scorching. Troiani leads, and she's setting this up for what every woman in this race wants, a genuine sub 2-minute run. The whole field is bunched and driving hard into the first bend. "300 meters out, and Troiani peels to the inside. Her job is done. Here come the Italians. Coiro surges, hits the front, picking up the pace hard. Bello is 3rd, grinding to close back on her teammates ahead of her. Galvydyte won't go quietly. The Lithuanian is pressing from outside, refusing to let Coiro pull away. Coiro drives, Galvydyte answers, but Coiro hits the front again with real force. Now Galvydyte starts to fade in the straight. Coiro is pumping hard, arms working over that final 100 meters, and she's clear. Coiro wins. Eloisa. Coiro hits the line first, 159.21, a massive personal best. Zenoni charges through for silver. Galvydyte takes bronze for Lithuania. Coiro's arms go wide, and she lets it out right there on the track. She knew the second she crossed. A huge personal best and the win that makes her Italy's clear #1 over 800 meters. The crowd is up. Coiro is overwhelmed, and she has every right to be. Watch Coiro at the gun. Composed, no wasted motion off the line. Through the first bend, she tucks in and lets the pace work for her, sitting in the pack while the field burns energy up front. Then watch the final turn. She shifts gears completely, and that acceleration through the last 100 meters is flat out fast. Galvydyte had been right on her shoulder, and you can see the exact moment the Lithuanian starts to tire on the inside. Coiro drives straight through her. High knees, full arm drive, head perfectly still. That's the kick that delivered 159.21 and the win. Zenoni charges hard from behind to grab silver with a personal best. Galvydyte hangs on for bronze. An Italian won 2, and a big night for Lithuania as well. There it is on the infield scoreboard. 159.21 confirmed for Koiro, a massive personal best. Zenoni takes silver with a personal best of 159.45. Italy went 1-2 in Brescia, and this crowd is absolutely loving every second of it. The race was won somewhere around the 650-meter mark, not at the finish line. That's where Koiro hit the front with real authority, and Galvydyte, who had been right on her shoulder through the final bend, simply couldn't answer. The Lithuanian had run a brave, aggressive second lap, pressing Koiro all the way into the straight, but Koiro had something left. She drove through the final 100 meters with her form intact, high knees, arms working, head still, and crossed in 1:59.21. That's not a time you run by accident, that's a time you run when you've peaked correctly and executed the race plan. What made it work tactically was the first lap. Troiani went out hard as the designated pacemaker, and the early pace was aggressive enough that it took her nearly 150 meters to clear the field and actually reach the front. That tells you something about how competitive the opening 200 meters were. Koiro didn't panic in that traffic. She tucked in, sat in the pack through the first bend, and let the pace do its work. She wasn't burning energy fighting for position, she was waiting. When Troiani moved to the inside lane with 300 meters to go and peeled away, the real race started, and Koiro was exactly where she needed to be. That kind of patience under pressure is hard to coach. Either you have the composure to trust your finishing speed or you don't. Galvydyte ran a genuinely strong race and still came third. Her 1:59.48 was fast. She was in the mix through the final bend and gave Koiro a real fight before her legs gave out in the straight. No shame in that. Zenoni is the interesting result. She came through late, charged hard in the final stages, and grabbed silver in 1:59.45, just 2/10 behind Koiro. That kind of finish suggests Zenoni may have had more to give if she'd been positioned better earlier. An Italian won too, with Galvydyte splitting nothing between them on time, 0.03 seconds for bronze. Georgia Griffith of Australia ran 1:59.75 in fourth, which on another day in another field is a podium result. She ran well and got nothing for it. That's the nature of a loaded race. 3 Italian women in the top 2 and a DNF from the fourth, Troiani, who sacrificed her own result as pacemaker. That's a level of team coordination you don't always see in an 800-meter final. Italy finished first, second, and ninth, with Eloisa running 2 minutes 1.95 seconds after spending herself in the pack. Sub 2 for the top 3, with the top 5 all inside 2 minutes 1 second. That's a competitive field, and Koiro's 1 minute 59.21 held up at the front of it comfortably. She's now clearly Italy's best over 800 meters, and at this level, that's a statement worth making. Koiro had finished third at the European Team Championships recently, which makes this a step up in terms of the result. The personal best by itself signals that she's still improving, still finding time. At 1:59.21, she's in the conversation for any major championship final. The World Athletics Championships and the European Championships are the obvious next targets, and based on this performance, she'll arrive at either with legitimate medal ambitions. The question is whether she can replicate this in a championship environment where the tactics are different and the pressure is higher, but you don't run 1:59.21 as a fluke. That time puts her name on the list.